Go ahead.
It's already gone.
There you go.
Okay, Bitcoin price hit 50,000 and catch Apple's 800 billion market cap by 2022. Fantastic article. Great to read. It's in Crypto Coins News. Today is October uh, Tuesday. Tuesday. Tuesday PM. Was I muted? Okay. I don't know. Anyway, that's a great headline. I urge you all to go to Crypto Coins News and share this information with other people as well. And then the other one that we were talking about was the one where Wozniak, co-founder of Apple, was talking about it. And here he is, the big guy himself. Apple co-founder Wozniak, Bitcoin is better than gold. And he called the US dollar phony. And that's a great article, too, to share with people because everybody knows who the Woz is. You know, this guy's famous. So don't waste that. Make sure that's in your repertoire. Print it out if you need to. Put it in a little binder. Carry it with you. It'll pay off quite a bit. Okay. Let's start with the presentation. Here is our masthead for the presentation. And what we're trying to do is to support a team of people that are trying to all help build the Bitclub so that we can all mine. Bitclub is mining. And here is our generic website that you can send people to. It's just to give them information over there. Here is the name of the Facebook group right here, Bitclub Network Global Leaders. The link I made for it is, I think I took the network out, I guess. And anyway, somebody else has kind of used that name as a Facebook page. But this is the actual name of the Facebook page. So pop over there and join that so that you keep up with what's going on. And if you need to talk to Kathy or I, here's our Skype information and our email. Just make sure that you let us know who referred you to the program. And because we're going to ask you, how you got there, who you're talking to, because we want to help our team grow. That's the whole purpose of this stuff. But we also want to make sure everybody can get their questions answered. A lot of times people need to know. They want to know right now. Right? So we're around sometimes and other people aren't. So just give us a connect. All right. And we make every effort to ensure that we accurately represent the products and services of Bitclub and the potential for economic gain. Earnings or Bitcoin cash flow statements made by the company or members are estimates of what you can possibly receive. There is no guarantee that you will make these levels of Bitcoin, and you accept the risk that the earnings and Bitcoin income possibilities differ by individual. The examples are not to be interpreted as any guarantee, promise, representation, or assurance. We do not purport Bitclub as being a get-rich-quick scheme, because it's not. It's a mining program. That's what it is. Bitcoin mining. Bitcoin started back in 2008 with Satoshi Nakamoto's white paper, which you can still read if you want. It's pretty informative. I have not read the whole thing myself. One of these days I might do that, but I haven't felt the need to do that. So it's there for anybody else who wants to see it. The transactions first started flowing in 2009. And so Bitcoin became the first digital worldwide global currency. And it's not a money. Money is something that's issued and controlled by governments, but this is a property. U.S. government considers it a property, but it does not consider it money, which is great. Bitcoin is sent directly to third parties or directly to us. We don't need any interveners. In other words, we don't need a third-party intervener like a bank or somebody else in order to say that, yes, we received these funds and we sent them to somebody else. And Bitcoin is safe, it's fast, and it's anonymous. We don't use human English and human names. We use alphanumeric characters. It's all mathematics. And you can follow your transactions. Anybody can see them. Anyone can set up a Bitcoin account. There's no age limit. So kids can set up Bitcoin accounts. We urge you to get the kids going because they'll do it really well. And a lot of kids already are. They're actually doing quite well with Bitcoin. No fees, no chargebacks, and no borders. Bitcoin is the same here as it is anywhere on the planet. And I like that because it makes it really easy to transfer value anywhere in the world to another location. Okay? Now, so Bitcoin is a technology. It is an internet protocol, and it is the world's largest distributed computing project. And it's getting bigger by the day because lots and lots of people love Bitcoin. It is not a company. There's no centrally location where you can write the president and complain about something. He's not there. There is none. We don't need him. It's not proprietary. Everything is out in the open for everybody to see. Nothing is hidden. It's not bound to any jurisdiction or location. And again, that's the nice thing about Bitcoin, because it is worldwide. We can get Bitcoin and we can transfer value to friends and family if they need it, any place on the planet, in seconds without any intervention or any fees. Now, who uses it? Well, hundreds of thousands of companies now today. Japan now has declared it a currency. 260,000 merchants signed up to take Bitcoin as soon as it was announced in July of 2016. No, 2017. Uh, you can get most anything you want through gift. They have gift cards for every kind of company, and they also have cash gift cards. You can go to overstock.com. They have a lot of things. Plus, there are websites set up out there for you. All you got to do is find the website, type in kind of what you're looking for, and they'll tell you what company handles it and takes Bitcoin for it. But you got to keep checking, because it's not always online. A lot of people take this stuff and you don't know about it yet. It's just not all put down in a book. Now, the other thing, the time I ever get complaints mainly about Bitcoin is they just say, well, what if I can't get on the internet? I can't get to my coins. Well, what if you can't get on the internet? You can't get to your bank account. It's no different. When you go check your bank account, it's the same thing as us going to check our Bitcoin account. Same. One deals in dollars, one deals in Bitcoin. You can have debit cards and things like that to use with your account anytime you want. Now, in 2014, the global remittance fees were $54 billion using PayPal, Citibank, MoneyGram, banks, in other words. If you'd used Bitcoin, the constant fee would have been about $5 billion. And how can we get away with saying there's no fees and then we tell you that there's fees? Well, it's not the Bitcoin doesn't charge any fees, but the miners charge a fee. They have a fee for producing the transaction as well as getting the award for creating the blockchain. They're two different functions. But the fees are very, very small compared to all the other fees out there that banks charge, stuff like that. So we urge you to look into it highly and quickly. Now, if you want to do sending and receiving, and you want to use debit cards and things like that, there's a company called BitPay who gets Visa cards. Transfer your Bitcoins over there. They convert it into dollars or whatever location you're in, and you can use them that way. Also, there are other companies, maybe like Zappo or somebody else, that takes Bitcoin and they put it right on the card. They don't convert it to any currency. It gets converted when you actually use it, because you don't know where you're going to be all the time. You need to carry your Bitcoins around on a card, so you don't even have to have a computer. Now, listen, this is important. We're going to talk about how these awards come about, how Bitcoin miners work. What miners really are, they're just computer companies that were set up and handle all the transactions. And when they first started, there was no infrastructure at all. It all had to be built from scratch. And so the way that the system got the miners going to do this was they said, all right, when you create the block, you get a new block, and a new block is created every 10 minutes to create the blockchain. A blockchain is nothing more than a ledger. It's a distributed ledger. In other words, that ledger is kept in all these other locations simultaneously and is always synced. They all have to agree. And if they all agree, then all transactions are valid and they're locked in and written to the block. That's why it's called a chain. So the first one to get the block done and completed and accepted into the chain gets an award. Now, when it first came out in 2009, over here on the far left, the award was 50 Bitcoin. They had to give them enough incentive to get it going, but Bitcoin wasn't very pricey at that point in time. It was so new that not many people were using it, so there was not a lot of capital value flowing through it. Now, after the first 4 years, the award was cut in half. So then the miners got $25 Bitcoin per award. And again, in July of 2016, it cut in half, and now it's down to 12.5 Bitcoin. For the next 3 years, that's what it's going to be. Now, you can see that it's a deflationary process, not an inflationary process like the fiat currencies out there, like the dollar. So the gold line shows you that the amount of Bitcoin being released into the system is dropping every year, and it will continue like that till 2140. The last coin will be mined in the year 2140. I'll be 192 years old then. And there will never be more than 21 Bitcoins. So that's 7.5 billion people chasing 21 Bitcoins. This is a perfect play. It's a scarce item that 7.5 billion people on the planet will be chasing down. That forces the price up. So this black line is showing you that as more and more people used it, also the price went up. So this black line is usage, and it is also pricing. And so now at this point in time, we're upwards around the $5,500 to the $6,000 level, and that's about a 70 billion market cap. Okay. Now, we're bigger than PayPal, and we've exceeded the value of Goldman Sachs, and it's continuing to climb. And that's what those two other articles are talking about over there in Crypto Coins News. The company, Bitcoin itself, which nobody particularly owns and everybody owns, is exceedingly pricey now compared to some of the largest companies in the planet. Now, this chart here goes along with that black line. You can see that adoption was very small. There were very few transactions. Then as transactions began to grow and it went faster and faster and larger, you can see the slope of this line changes. Here it's about a 45-degree, but when you're here, boy, look at this. It's like a 60-degree angle on between these 2 points here. So as the usage increases, there's something else that happens, and it's called difficulty. This is why you have to have new computers all the time, because of the difficulty. It takes more, bigger, better, faster, badass computers in order to do these calculations. And we're talking about billions of calculations in order to create that block. Now, the way computers do that is they guess. They start with one hypothesis and they guess and see if that one fits. Nope, that is not going to work. Then they do another one, and they got to do it very, 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 very fast. Because these miners, there's more than one mining company out there. They're all in competition with one another. It's like a big war is going on. So the only guy that gets the award is the guy that gets the problem solved at the fastest time and gets it inserted into the block, and it's accepted. And that's why it's called difficulty. Now, that poses problems for mining. This is a problem that Bitcoin has uniquely solved, unlike any other company out there. There are three kinds of mining programs out there. There's a kind where you go buy the machines, you take it home and you plug it in yourself, and you have lifetime mining. You bought the machine and it's going to mine forever. Well, it doesn't really work, because as the math gets more difficult, the machine becomes outdated because it can't keep up and do the transactions. When they first started the mining process, little tiny computers could do it. You know, these little computers on a card couldn't do it. I used to see people that had a whole bunch of those things on a tabletop all over there mining at the same time. You can't do that anymore because of the difficulty, because of the number of the transactions that are going on. Now, the other way of mining would be cloud mining. This is where a company sets up a whole bunch of machines and they sell you time on those machines. And that's what you pay for, is the mining time and whatever reward that you get. Now, those things have to be renewed. When that time period stops, you've got to say, do you want to, you want to renew? Well, is it going to cost you more? Can you get back on the same deal? No, because the machines are going to have to be more bigger and powerful. They got to be big. They got to be bad. They got to be powerful. They got to really hammer it down, because they're competing with everybody. And you've got to be competitive. If you don't stay competitive, you're not going to win any Bitcoin. And if you don't win any Bitcoin, you're just paying bills for electricity. Nobody wants to do that, right? Well, what Bitclub did, not Bitcoin, Bitclub solved the problem by forming pools. And the way what happens here is you come and you purchase the pools. Once you've purchased that pool, you never have to put out any more money, and the mining will continue. And your machine, you actually own machines, and you become part owner of the club. It doesn't matter where you are. The mines are in different locations, and your machines will be involved in those mines. Now, those big bees, the big contracts, spawn these little bees called partial shares. This is what we call a repurchase agreement. So here's what happens and why Bitclub is the place to be for mining. One, we are a massive, massive, massive mining operation, and anybody who joins gets the same thing that everybody else. We all share the same amount of mining stuff that goes on. Now, what happens is when the coin is mined and it comes in, everybody shares in the operation cost of the mine. And that means that there's no debt. We don't have to worry about any ongoing service payments or anything like that. A lot of companies lease their machines. They don't actually own them. So they have a debt problem as well. We also have the repurchase thing. Every time you have enough Bitcoin to buy a partial share in your mine that you have, or your mining pool, it will buy you a partial share, which then has a 1,000-day contract on it. Why the 1,000 days? It used to be 600 days because the machines only lasted 600 days. Now the newer machines that we have are far more efficient and more robust, and they last longer, so you get a longer period. So what happens is you start mining in the first year, you bought your pools, you're mining, everybody's paying the cost of the pool, and you're buying your partial shares. And I'll show you a chart how this works later. But the little partial shares begin to add up. Pretty soon these partial shares equal a full share. So what happens is you're mining a certain amount in the first year. Next year you're continuing to mine that same amount, but you're also mining this amount now down here. And you continue to mine that amount, and then pretty soon you're mining this amount down here. You see how it begins to pancake and it goes out through that whole 1,000 days? It's quite something to see how this whole thing works. So you're always getting Bitcoin. Do we care about the price of Bitcoin? No. Mining does not look at your price. But once you buy your pool, that's it. You don't have to come up with any more money. The system is completely self-contained and will continue on and on and on for as long as it's profitable to mine. That's why we're the best choice. There are some competing ideas, though. You know, we have somebody says, let's take that same $3,600 that you would use to buy a founder's position, and let's go buy stocks with that. Stock market's at an all-time high, but the problem is it's not the little guy buying the stocks. It's people who are very much involved in trading, and it's their life's work, and it's institutional guys. They've got companies and they've got accountants and they've got attorneys and they've got people to go read the contracts and go visit the companies and figure out whether or not it's something they want to hold as a stock in their portfolio. You don't have all that. Forex is just gambling with money. That's all it is, and you can lose your shirt. You can lose everything. You know that. We don't want to lose money. Why not buy some silver, some coin? I mean, gold or copper. That'll work too. It'll go up in value, but Bitcoin is already 3 to 4 times the price of gold. Why would you want to buy a cheaper asset that's not as functional? How are you going to shave that gold bar and pay for $50 worth of groceries or something like that if you could even get them? It's just not a very functional idea and the way to do it. Plus, a few years from now, you're still going to have the same bar gold. You don't have any more. Forex, you could have lost everything. And the stocks can go up and down and may not even be convertible. Well, we could buy Bitcoins. We could hold those. That's a good idea too, because they are going to go up in value. And I'm going to show you why in a couple of minutes. But at the end of 5 years down the road, you still only have the same amount of Bitcoin. Why not buy the mine, which is the goose that lays the golden egg or the golden coin? And that way you've got Bitcoin mining and Bitcoin coming in every single day credited to your account. That's the smart way to do it. And you don't have to worry about that pool. Once it's started, it's up and running. It's going to mine for the rest of your life, and you'll pass that on to your kids and friends and family. So you'll end up with far more coins than maybe 5 coins or something like that you can afford now. Can you walk out right now and knock down $5,500 per coin and buy 10 coins? Huh? Mm-hmm. You can't. But you can certainly get into the Bitclub. And you can even finance your way in. You can use credit for this. You cannot lose any money here because this thing is going to return Bitcoin to you for the rest of your life. It's not optional. It's already been doing it, and we've got a strong track record. In fact, we're so successful at this point, we actually have a waiting period. It takes about 30 days to get your mine set up, but there's also a quota. We can only put in so many people every hour. And if you're one of the lucky few that can get in this hour, then get in as soon as possible because it's going to pay you. Even when Bitcoin is over $50,000, you're still going to get that mining every single day. That's what's so cool about it. So what a mine looks like, and that was the first one, and this is what the current state of them look like. These are the new S9 machines, and you can't get the S9 machines that we have. If you were to go buy a machine, you get the 28 nanometer chip. We use the 16 nanometer chip, soon to be a 7 nanometer chip. These machines that we get are so custom and they are so efficient that our electricity cost was cut down in half when they first started putting these in. You cannot achieve these efficiencies of scale trying to do this thing on your own. It just doesn't work. Now, this is a chart that you can go to see on blockchain.info. You just go over there, you can find it, just click on charts. And when you click on the charts, you're going to see that all these charts are going to come up, but this is the only color one, right? All the other ones are just kind of black and white. And this one's round, and the other ones aren't round, so you can find it pretty easy. This lists the names of the companies that are actually mining at a profit. If they're not on this list, then they're not mining at a profit. Why is that important? Because you got to pay for the electricity. If you're not making any money and you're just pulling out of your pocket, you cannot continue that. That's for sure. So just always check it out and make sure that they're actually mining and they're not doing something else. Okay? That's one way to check it. These guys are the Winklevoss twins. They are very big into Bitcoin. They're venture capitalists. They're also very big in Facebook. You know, they look the part. Richard Branson, you know, he's a famous self-made billionaire. He's Virgin Records, Virgin Airlines, things like that. And he's very much involved with Bitcoin. Now, these two guys down here, Mike Tyson and Ashton Kutcher, um, they made some smart decisions. One of them was go ahead and do Bitcoin. And the reason that's smart is because they can't always, he can't always keep fighting, and he can't always get an acting role that he wants, right? So it's very, very rare and fluctuating income it could be. And maybe he can't box at all. Maybe he can't get any more parts. But you don't have to worry because he's deep into the Bitcoin thing. Billy Gates is in. He's in everything. He just showed up. He certainly knows his computers, and I'll tell you, he's right there with us on Bitcoin. I'll tell you that. Now, Bernanke is also there smiling too, because look what he says: virtual currencies may hold long-term promise. Well, they want to get rid of cash. The thing he's discounting though, and he doesn't think is going to be a problem because this was done a few years ago. When I'm going to show you that they were investing heavily into the Bitcoin area. They didn't realize at that time that Bitcoin was going to level the banks. So I'm not so sure he's smiling anymore, but it's a nice picture, isn't it? Looking for a bird that flew up his nose. Well, here they are. Here's the banks. They're all in there investing in it. They're trying to get their hands on it. The interesting thing is what they're finding is they can't really control Bitcoin, and it's going to level them. It's going to take away a lot of their street business. But they're also getting involved in what's called blockchain technology, which is what Bitcoin has to exist for Bitcoin to exist. It is a revolution. It is a complete change. I liken it to the invention of the railroads, radio, and electricity all at the same time. It's massive. Andreas says it's bigger than the internet. It remains to be seen what's going to happen, but things are going to change rapidly. It's going to cost a lot of people jobs too, because they don't need them anymore. We don't need to have a third party approve our transactions. But did these banks ever call you up and say, you're probably dealing with these banks yourself? They ever call you up and say, hey, why don't you take a look at Bitcoin? No, of course not. They want to control it. So here's the ecosystem. These companies over here in the software, and that interacts with the mining companies and the hardware companies. So they all kind of work together on everything. These are the custodial companies, and these are the market makers. These are the guys where you can trade, buy coin and trade coin. The other companies in here are just ancillary companies that are tangential to the market itself, so that it could function better. Local Bitcoins is a great place to buy Bitcoins. And it's also very convenient because all you need is your phone. You can have your wallet right on your phone. You don't need anything special. I don't think you're even going to need any kind of debit card in the future. Now, about the value of Bitcoin. Look, Amazon's business in 2014 was $88.9 billion, and that was going through banks and credit card companies, and it cost them $2.6 billion a year in fees. Now, if they just cut out that and went with Bitcoin without those fees that they were paying the banks, they'd more than double their profit. You think they're going to do that? I do, because why wouldn't they, right? I think their stockholders are going to demand it. So if that $89 billion was flowing in through Bitcoin, $70 billion already flowing in, which gives us around a $4,000 to $6,000 price on it. You add another $6,000 in there, and you got a coin well over $10,000 just right there. Just if Amazon changes the way they do business. Well, what about the international remittance market, which was $600 billion? This is money moving from country to country, from individual to individual across borders. That's huge. Fees, banks love this stuff, for between 4 and 20% cost just to move it. And it takes days to move it. So you can do it instantly with Bitcoin. So if that 600 billion was flowing through Bitcoin, that would add another $42,000 to the price of the coin. Now we're talking about a coin that's well over $50,000 right there. And that doesn't even go along with what the WAS is saying and this trader is saying. You can add all that stuff on top of it. And they're already at 50,000. Gambling doesn't add very much, doesn't contribute. But gasoline does. Look at that, 65 billion gallons worth of gasoline, $234 billion a year. That adds another $34,400. We're over $75,000 a coin. You see how this works? Even the gaming companies, look at this, they're all taking Bitcoin too, right? Tim Draper, the venture capitalist, on September 12th of 2014, said that Bitcoin was going to be $10,000 in 3 years. Well, we're right there, and we're right there, and we're pushing 6 again. We've already been over 6. It's going to go up again, and I'm pretty sure we're going to hit that $10,000 mark. Now, just adding up all these numbers, what do you think is going to happen when Bitcoin is picked up by the 2.5 billion people who don't have any banking right now and are in poverty because they don't know of a way to do commerce, to sell their goods and services and to exchange them over a wide area? That's all going to change now. They all have phones. They don't have computers, and they don't have tablets. They don't need them. All they need is their phone. And with their phone, Andreas says that they have a Swiss bank in their pocket. They're just aching to get into commerce so that they can have a way to improve their family's situation. What do you think the value is going to be at that point? If you just transferred 1% of the asset value of the United States into Bitcoin, you're talking about $1 million a coin without any companies adopting it. Look at all these industries we haven't even talked about: movie industries, network marketing, organics, video. I mean, there's just tons and tons of funds out there. Now, the next thing that we've invented, Bitclub, and as a member of Bitclub, you get to participate in CoinPay. CoinPay is a merchant payment solution. In other words, what happens is that the merchant signs up to take it, and he takes a coin. You come in and you want to buy something, you want to pay with Bitcoin, or you want to pay with a different coin. He says, okay, and the system gives you a QR code to pay. You know, those little square graphic looking things you see all over the place now? That's a QR code, and your phone can read that code. And so you're going to send him over some Bitcoin. He doesn't want Bitcoin. He says, no, I don't want Bitcoin. I want something else. I want dollars. I want dollars. So what happens is the system is designed to automatically do a conversion as the transaction occurs and instantly pays the guy's account dollars. So he gets what he wants. You get what you want. You paid with your Bitcoin. Fantastic. You can go out and sign people up after the first of the year. It's a max cost of 1% to the merchant. And if you sign that merchant up, you get 50% of that. Now, it gets even better because this thing is also designed to watch for our Club Coin. Club Coin is a mined coin that is given to members of the Bitclub. And they don't pay for it. You can buy some, but right now, if you tried to buy some, there's nobody selling any of it. So you'd have to wait till maybe after the first of the year when it starts moving through the system. It's the purpose of it is to track our payments. If we go to a CoinPay merchant and we pay with our Club Coin, we get a discount, we get a spiff, whatever the guy can give us. As part of the compensation to us is being using the system through the Bitclub, right? Nobody else is going to get it, but you got to join to be able to partake in it. Unless you're a merchant, we'll sign you up. The person that signs up the merchant gets 50% of that fee every single month for as long as the merchant uses it. All right, so all you got to do is just diddy bop on over there and sign up one time. Talk to the person that referred you and get in, get your membership and get started, and then acquire some pools. Some people do all of it in one step. Some people take their time to do it. Doesn't really matter. What matters is that you start taking action now and positioning yourself to profit from the increase in Bitcoin. It's going to be very dramatic and it's going to happen very quickly. We can get whole coins right now, people. If you wait, you're not going to be able to get whole coins. You'll be lucky to get partial pieces of coin. It's all good. I'm not saying don't do it. I'm just saying you need to look at it right now, because if you come in as a founder right now, you also get 2,000 shares of CoinPay, which is the company that Bitclub started, and it's given to you as being a founding member. Plus, you get 50 Club Coin. Now, when they sell that company, because they will sell CoinPay, conglomerates aren't going to be able to stand it. It's going to be a multi-billion-dollar sale. If you have the CoinPay shares, you get to participate in that sale. Pretty cool, huh? Just for joining the club. All right, this is what the pool thing is. When you go to shop, press on shop and buy your pools, this is what it looks like. There's only one position, the founder position. It's $3,500. Note they allow you to buy it in pieces. So if you can start with a $500 pool, then add the 1,000, the 2,000, and you still become a founder, and you'll get whatever bonus is in place at the time. 2,000 shares of CoinPay is not permanent. It's going to change. And we were told that they're getting very close to changing it. That's all they'll tell us. They don't tell us all the details. But they're discussing it in Dubai right now because the testing is all over. They've worked it hard. They were running it on the Bitclub here, $50 million a month. And that's been fine. And now they're going to release it. And we're off to the races. So don't delay if you want some of that CoinPay shares. Okay, here is our masthead again. Let me just close this down a little bit. We'll talk about a couple other things here. How's my time? Good, we're okay. Doing all right for time. Now, this is what the back office looks like with the pools. So here's pool number 1, pool number 2, pool number 3. This is a $500 pool, this is the $1,000 pool, and this is the $2,000 pool. The $1,000 pool mines twice what the $500 pool does, and the $2,000 pool mines twice what the 1,000 one does and 4 times the pool number 1. But you can start with this pool. And now down here you can see this partial share action taking place. Started off with 2 shares in the program, and now we're over 3.1 shares. So it's organically growing. As we buy these little partial shares, they begin to add up over time. And we're doing it in all 3 pools. See that? That's how we make it grow. Now, we do some other things too, because of the way we've designed our plan and the way I recommend that people do it. We're taking additional positions of these $500 pools under us, and we're letting them mine, and we're taking that mining power also and using it to step up our pools and make them have more shares so that we mine more Bitcoin. Can't get enough Bitcoin, I'm telling you. This is what it looks like when we get paid. We get a whole bunch of different series of things that get paid. Here is how the mining comes in. It comes right from the pool. These are brand new coins. They're coming direct to us, coming from mine number 1, mine number 2, mine number 3, and then we even get paid on the partial shares. You see that? We're getting paid from the partial share of mining that's done. So whenever you refer people and you sign up for your own program, you're also going to be receiving compensation from the mining that the people that you've referred into the program are going to do. It's not a lot, but it certainly ends up, I'll tell you that. Makes a big difference. And in order to show you some of that, I'm going to show you over here. We started in June. Let's see. Yeah, what do I want to do? Oh, I'll just pop over to the commission side and show you here. Well, where's it going? Where's it doing? Why is it not moving? Oh, it did. There it is, right there. All right, this is the only thing I really look at is the all-time summary. And it tells us how effective we've been since June. We came in around June 9th. And so from the binary side of the plan, we earned almost 5 coins right there. And in our bonuses, we've earned another 4 coins on top of that. And then some we paid for, and we entered transferring some, and we withdrew some, and we were mining some. See that? It all adds up, and it can add up very, very quickly. And it's going to be important because of the way the economic things are going. I'm sure I don't have to tell you what's going on about the bail-ins and about the, taking your funds out of your account and all that kind of stuff, and the pension plans failing. It's all out there for people to see. You can go to YouTube. You can see anything you want about it. It's very important, but you got to do something. You cannot keep sitting on your hands thinking everything's going to fine and somebody else is going to take care of it. Everybody's going to be badly affected by what's coming. Now, what we do is we talk about the way this whole mining thing works when we set up the plan. And let me go over to the compensation area here, pull it up, give you an idea of what it's like. There's several different ways you can do this program. And there's an optimum way that we think everybody should try to do. And we talk about that periodically. So when you first come in, there's a binary team. It's a left and a right, and its own purpose, the sole purpose of this thing is to get cash up and running. When you come in here, then you bring somebody in, and there's 15 points on the left and 15 points on the right. You cycle. You get a $200 bonus in Bitcoin, and that can add up. That can add up. You can do 4 of those a day, up to 12 of those a day, depending upon the ranking system that you have. All right. Now the binary, that's all it does. That's the same sole purpose for it. Really what we have is what we call the level up bonus program. And when you bring people on, well, let me show you the drawing that I have here. Here it is. Here's the binary system. Here's the level up system. Kind of ran out of page here. And so this is you at the top, and there's also you over here. It's the same you. I didn't draw another circle over here because it's the same one. It doesn't matter. But as we put people in the binary, when we bring them in, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, then 7, then 8. This enables you to cycle. This gives you the 15 points. So this puts money in your pocket right away. But when you sign up, the first person you sign up goes into the team 1 on the level up plan. It's a unilevel plan. Doesn't matter where he's on the binary. If that's the first person you signed up, you're going to have him in your team 1 category. The second person you bring on is going to be in your team 1. It's going to be the second person. There are only 2 people in that category. And you get a 5% commission on that deal, and that's it. You don't get anything else from that. All right? Now, and when you build your team 2, when you bring the third person in, you open up the team 2. So 3, 4, and 5. So there's 3, 4, 5. So these 3 right here would form your team 3 if you put them in that way. You don't have to. You can put them at 3, 4, 5, that kind of thing right there. Does not matter. It matters for cycling on the binary, but it doesn't matter for the team build over here. It's just all in a straight line order. And then there's 6, 7, and 8. Now, what we try to tell you is that when you want to take all of these positions yourself, if you can. You don't have to. You can come in, get your positions, start your mining, and begin referring people, and then fill these people in one at a time as you go. There's no hurry. I mean, it's going to be here. It's not going to go anywhere. The only hurry is you need to help educate your people that you meet out there so that they're going to be okay too. Because we'll all be okay. If we've got Bitcoin going, we won't have any problems. We'll just follow Venezuela's leads and, Cyprus and Greece lead. They're using Bitcoin to keep things going over there. Now, the thing is that the compensation plan, it only pays a small amount here until you get into Team 9. Then the dam opens and it's just amazing what you got. So I want you to think of this Team 1 through 2, 3 as a unit all together. This is the team structure. And when you bring somebody on, so what happens is some of the compensation here flows up to the upline. That's where it goes. So you don't get 100% of the compensation here. You only get 100% of the compensation once you're putting people in your Team 9. I mean, not Team 9, but in position 9. And they're all numbered, by the way, in the line, so it's easy to follow when you look at the computer listing. So what I want you to think of this is that you give up some of this here in order to have unlimited numbers of teams here. Because you got your first position, number 9, you could actually take that as a founder position right there. Again. And now you could also do another team 2, 1, 2, 3 underneath this guy. And then over here would be number 10, and you could do another team set of 8 people under him, and then number 8 over here, then 8 over here, then 8 over here. There's no limit to the number of people you can bring on. You don't lose any compensation here at all. Everything flows up to who? The upline. Who's the upline? You. Your position. You're up here at the top of the heap in this whole thing. So it's a way to you give a little bit for the team, and then the rest of it comes to you. All of it, 100% of it. Guaranteed. It's fantastic. It is the strongest little program I have ever seen, and it's not taking a lot of anything out from anybody, but it pays and it pays and it pays and it pays and it pays. And that's what you want. That's something you can live on. That's something you can bank on. That's something you can build a retirement plan on. In fact, this is the solution to the pension problem and the retirement crisis out there. These plans are unfunded. They've let them go unfunded, and they are going to crash and burn. They're just not going to pay. Many of the teams, or the plans, are already sending letters to people canceling their pensions and cutting them up to 60, 70, 80%. And they're left with very little money, and they're old and gray, and now what are they going to do? When they go back to work, they can't earn anything like they did before. This is criminal in my mind. Somebody planned all this stuff. But we have the Bitclub, and the Bitclub can help everybody. Nobody needs to be left out. You will come out way ahead if you use the Bitclub to help you solve that problem. All right, we've gone long enough. Let's open it up for some Q&A, see if anybody has any questions. And if not, we'll get on with our evening. We got lots to do.
Okay, thank you very much. Very exciting stuff. We have a lot of people that I haven't seen for quite a while in here tonight.
Really?
Welcome,
Oh my goodness.
Great to have you. Yeah, absolutely. Do we have anybody that has any questions? Go ahead and go down to chat and unmute yourself. Well, we have Bob Tucker. Go ahead, Bob.
Hey, I have a quick question. I know I haven't been in the meetings for a while, but
hey, how are you? It's great to see you.
Thank you. I talked to John on a really good instructional phone call privately back in September, and I've been using it to my advantage to talk to a lot of my warm market, and it's working. It is really working. And right now I have 4 truck drivers and 1 school teacher that wants me to get them going.
Fantastic. That's great.
And
congratulations.
But I ran into a problem. I had my VPN set up through the HMA about a month or 2 ago, and then somehow my subscription ended. And then when I tried to reinstall it in my computer, Now it tells me I need to reset up all my, I guess the question is all the configuration all over again to sign up people. And I don't know how to get around this hurdle to sign people up myself.
Okay, well, you just go into your back office. Have you tried that? Go into your back office. John, do you want to show him where to enroll people because he's already in the system?
Well, he
should
says
be able
he's
to.
having a problem with the VPN.
It's asking me to reinstall it, and pay for a new subscription, which I just did that today.
Okay, they did an update on me once through that particular VPN, and then everything was okay once I reinstalled it. So have you tried that?
Well, it asked me to reconfigure the router, and I was wondering, since I had it before, do I need to reinstall
Oh,
it?
wait a minute. You got sidetracked. You went sideways. You really don't need to do that. When you install it, it kind of installs itself.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need to do any of that stuff.
Oh, okay.
You pressed an option or something that lets you get into more detail than you need to get into, because it automatically configures itself and you're up and running.
Oh, okay.
So play with it a little bit. I think you're going to be better off. Just try it. Try
It
it.
asked me to do all this stuff over again, and I thought, well, that doesn't make sense.
Well, you didn't have to do it before. You just downloaded it and started it, and it worked, didn't it?
Yeah.
You don't have to configure anything.
So I went through the steps to try to install one of the new people today, and it came even after I was in the VPN, and they came back and said, well, this new member is in the USA.
Right. So your VPN wasn't functioning at that point.
Oh, okay.
That's the only problem. We just have to figure out why it's not going.
Okay.
You might want to try reinstalling it again. It should be completely automatic almost.
Okay. Well, I've been trying to sign these people up, get their accounts going, and that was the only roadblock.
Well, why don't we get a hold of you after the webinar and see if we can help out?
Sounds good to me.
We'll do whatever we can do.
You betcha.
Can't guarantee it though, man, because I'm not a computer tech. You know that.
Okay.
But
you need somebody that really knows what's going on with this stuff, because I really don't. It's beyond me now. I just haven't kept up.
I just got to watch out for the school teacher hours. She says, don't contact me at 9 o'clock at night. And I said, okay, I'll serve you when you want.
All right. Well, I'm sure we can fix it.
Okay. I had a question today that maybe you can help me with.
Me?
Yeah. You were gone. I couldn't ask you, but it's for a member. He says, can you tell me what happens if I bring a new club member into GPU mining when I don't have a GPU pool himself? Do I still earn from that just as if he'd come into BTC mining?
Yeah, I think so. The GPU right now, you have $1,000 pool that you can obtain from them, and you can also get a founder's position for $5,000 on the GPU side. If you're a Bitcoin founder and they go to buy the GPU pool, you're a founder. You're going to get paid for the founder's position. If you've got $1,000 pool on the Bitcoin side, and they buy $1,000 GPU pool, you're going to get paid because you got the equivalent pool.
Okay, but what if you don't have the equivalent pool? Will it sit there and
the commissions will probably be pended into the.
They will be pending.
Assisted. I think they're paying everybody for the GPU side. I don't think they're really not paying anybody for that.
Okay, so I guess just check our pending and see if the credits are adding.
No, we haven't ourselves had a problem with that. We did our own GPU pool, right?
But we came in at pool 3 too, and this person is not. They're at a $500 pool. So we didn't know if they'd sit there and just pin those credits.
I don't think they're going to append anything. I think they're going to pay it all. But nobody has had the problem. Nobody's called up and said, other people have bought the GPU pool. We didn't even know about it.
Right.
I mean, nobody had any problems, so I'm guessing it's not going to be any problem. I know they want to expand that area, so.
I know we're the fastest mining in GPU pool, so that's
we're
exciting.
The largest GPU pool out there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And they're going to build on it. They're going to be doing more coins too.
Yeah. Yay.
This thing is growing crazy. You guys don't realize that we're the largest Bitcoin miner right now. We're going to have more than 700 petahash. We got 300 now. got another 400 to 500 petahash coming on.
And right now we're bigger than what, Amazon or Google as far as petahash? Google, yeah, that's enormous. I mean, and adding what, twice as much.
Yeah,
we should be getting all those mining
I want
blocks
all
here pretty
1,800
soon.
coins.
1,800 blocks a day.
Or a
You
piece
bet.
of them, that's for sure. But see,
All
this
right.
this system is long term. It is designed to pump Bitcoin out forever. The people that have been here about 3 years or so are generating huge volumes of Bitcoin, whether they want it or not. I mean, you can even see some of that. They don't. There is no return on investment program. We don't try to treat this as investment. It's just a mining company, and you get what you get. And I think the more you put into the program, the more you're going to get out of the program. I know that we're just constantly upgrading and upgrading and upgrading and adding positions as we can, and we're using
from the profits that we're seeing. It's not like we're coming out of our pocket again.
right.
That's exciting.
Sure. I can't wait till we're mining those $50,000 Bitcoins. I mean, that's just fantastic.
You and me too, brother. Okay, how about any more questions here? James is going to Dubai. No, he's going to Iceland at the end of the month. Take lots of pictures,
Is he
James.
going? I didn't know he was still going.
Yeah, he just announced he was going.
Well, good for you, James.
You bet. We want to see footage in your.
Yes, I will.
Had to trade
I
your.
want to see pictures in the pool, but in the blue pool.
In the pool?
Yes.
In the pool. Which pool?
You're going to go to the blue pool, right? You're going to go down there and get in that big blue hot water pool.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's.
You'll have to just to thaw out.
No, I had to buy a warm jacket for the first time.
Yeah, you'll have to get a parka. Yep. I can send you one. I live in Colorado. We have plenty here.
Yeah, we're just cooking here at 100 degrees.
It's about 60 right now. But
tomorrow too.
Dress warm, multi-layer, you know. All right.
Okay, well, let's call it a night and get on with things.
Okay, guys, thanks for coming, and we're at your beck and call pretty much 24/7 with the way our schedules run. So be sure to come back Friday morning, 10 a.m. Pacific time, and bring some guests. In the meantime, just give us a holler if you need some help. Okay, anything else, John?
Nope. Good night. See you all later.
All right, thanks, guys.
Good job.
Thank you.
Great to see you. We have some messages coming up in chat. Oh, thanks, Kenny. All right, take care, everybody, and we'll speak with you soon.
Bye.
Ta-ta.